Have you ever practiced something, whether it be a speech or whatever, or had to learn something for a test, and you get to that point where either someone asks you the question or you step on stage or whatever you're presenting and you lose all of it. It's gone. Why does that happen? What happens? I'll tell you why. It's fear. It's fear. Fear is fucking sneaky as shit. It's really fucking sneaky. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is MJ. I am a poet, a creative director, and a coach, and I talk with people and creatives to learn why we get in our own ways. And so let's discover what this is, why fear is so fucking sneaky, and where it shows up for us. Let's do it. So fear is the master of disguise. Fear spends a lot of time in the shapeshifter phase of things, if you will. It looks like I've got 17 ideas. I keep having all these ideas, without like really hooking on to one of them and making it work. It's stuff like readiness. It's not time yet. There's just not enough time to do this. The problem is with fear is that a lot of the things that we come up with, I hesitate to use the word excuse because it has negative connotations, but we're going to use it for the moment. Let's say I use the excuse that I have to work all the time so I don't have time for other things. And that's a valid excuse. That is a very valid excuse. I need money to exist so that I can exist. But the fear of whatever is keeping me from continuing the movement forward instead of keeping on this like parallel line of like, I have so many projects that I don't know which one to, and then you're, to start with, and then you have this like weird executive dysfunction situation, or that the timing isn't right for whatever reason. That's also sometimes true. A lot of these things are true, and we can live in this parallel space where we're also kind of, fear is playing the role of like logic, it's also priority based sometimes too. It's like maybe to rest, we are going and watching our favorite TV show for 3 hours instead of taking 15 minutes before you sit down and do that to maybe doodle some, or take out your paint, or write a paragraph, to work on your creative thing. Like pick a project and decide you're going to actually work on that project, like, Simon, like at some point. Fear can disguise itself as overwhelm. Fear can disguise itself as logic. A lot of times it does. Fatigue. Sometimes it can, for people who have felt creatively blocked, it can come in the form of not feeling inspired. Everything feels really dull. Fear's really great at that. So what's happening? What's happening is your nervous system is overriding all this stuff. Like, go back to the example of, have you ever had a moment where someone asks you a question and you just like, gone, whatever the answer you had was gone, or you practice this speech or this presentation for hours and hours, and the moment you sit down to or you stand up to do the thing, it's like gone. That's nervous system stuff. That's whatever. For me, when I was younger, I used to do some theater and some monologues, and really I would have to really warm up my nervous system to get into those things, because there are several times, at least in the beginning of learning, that I would stand up and I would go to do the thing and it would just be gone. And one of the things I kind of learned to do was breathe through it. Kind of not be the first one to speak on stage, acclimate to the waters, if you will. Back then I don't think I had as many things as I do now. Realizing that nervousness isn't the enemy, because we can work through it. And that's not it wasn't a lack of preparation, for sure. I was ready. I spent hours learning the things, right? So it wasn't a lack of preparation. It was a matter of figuring out how to regulate the nervous system, figuring out how to move through the fear. And these are things we can do. It's a practice. It's not like, you get on stage, you get nervous, or you go to share your work in some way and you get nervous and you're like, well, it's just not for me. Like, it's like if someone makes spaghetti for you and you don't like it, eventually someone's going to try to make spaghetti for you again, and maybe you just didn't like that person's original spaghetti. Maybe you need to have somebody else's spaghetti. How many times have you eaten something before and you didn't like it, and then somebody else makes that thing for you and you're like, oh, I just didn't like that person's thing, like the way that they made it? That has happened to me several times. And this is that situation where maybe it just wasn't the right environment. Maybe we need to work through our nervousness, our fear. Maybe we need to be taught how to do those things. We talk about this stuff I talk about it in my book, which I will link below, and I also talk about it in my Creative Confidence community and my cohort class. We move through those things. Community is really important, having somebody to guide you through those fears, because to be honest, that fear sometimes, yes, we can work through it ourselves, but fear is so fucking sneaky. Literally, one of the best things I ever had was someone to call me out and go, is this a fear thing? Your excuse is definitely valid, and I see where you can move through this. Having somebody to hold my hand and say, I see you, I see what's going on, but I have aggressive faith in your ability to move through it. It was so fucking helpful. And now I get to do that for other people, and it's amazing to see people move through those things. What you can actually do. I am the hugest proponent for start small, do the small things and increase that. Start small. Whether that's a social media post that you've been kind of putting off, getting into a community space that is a very safe environment for you to experiment, to share in a container, and then you can expand that container. These are small. So I want you to brainstorm small ways to increase that discomfort. And when I say small, I mean fucking small. Like writing one sentence a day, or sharing one photo of yours on social media a day to get used to the nervous system response of being seen, right? That's small. Okay? I cannot emphasize small steps forward enough. So this is a reminder, nerves don't go away. We are learning how to trust ourselves through and tell our nervous systems and show our nervous systems that it is okay. Nervous is okay. It's a natural response to doing things that are uncomfortable. But the rewards afterward are usually really great. It shows us that even if the reward is I showed up, your system will say, your body and your being will be like, fucking yes, we did it. Then that's increasing your bravery, that's increasing your confidence in yourself, and that is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Even Cyndi Lauper still gets fucking nervous before she goes on stage. Are you kidding? Cyndi Lauper? She's been doing this forever. Are you kidding? So we can do these things. That's it. That's what I got for you today. I love you. You're magical. You're amazing. Keep going. Keep fucking going. And if any of this resonates, or you know the drill, all the stuff will be in there. So, mwah, mwah, love you.